Good morning, everyone from the United States. My name is Ryan. So, just to be specific, Etharkkum vanakkam, andariki namaskaram, namaste, namaskara. So first of all, today's video is going to be a movie review of a Tamil movie I watched in the cinemas called Etharkkum Thunnindavan. Basically, it is the Tamil movie, and the meaning of Etharkkum Thunnindavan is someone who is ready for anything. Basically, in this review, I'm going to be going through a few topics. A few things I'm going to be speaking about is the rating I would give this movie personally, storyline, acting, and performance. Plus, would it be a blockbuster in my mind? So first thing I'm going to do is rating. The reason why I'm going to do rating first is because if I give a rating, then I'll be able to explain why I would give this certain rating. So on my rating scale is out of 5. The rating I would give this movie is a 3.7 out of 5. 3.75 out of 5. Let me explain. Now, I'm going to go through the storyline. For a 3.75 out of 5, I really love the storyline. I think it has a really good message. For this message, the movie is about Pengal Padagap, means women's safety. This topic is an incredibly sensitive one, but it's something that has to be voiced out. It has to be something that everyone knows about, which everyone is aware of, but not too much. But what this movie does that's really great is that it voices out every woman's voice to be safe. For every Suriya sir, who is the actor, Suriya sir is the main actor of the movie. He was with actor Satyaraj sir, Saranya ma'am, actress Priyanka Mohan, actor Suri, and actor Pugar. All these actors, they have chosen a really great storyline and portrayed a really good message. To get onto the acting, Suriya sir, just a brief info about me, but I love Suriya sir. Just a little information that I've watched his movie from Nedikanir, Veil, Ayan, all the way up to Etharkkum Thunnindavan, which is basically including like Thana Senda Kutam, Singam 1 to 3, Kapan, NGK. His acting to me is phenomenal. So just to go with this, Suriya is a versatile actor in my mind. Suriya sir is someone who can adapt to any role. Especially the last 2 movies before Etharkkum Thunnindavan, Jai Bhim and Suriya Putri. I really love those movies. 2 back-to-back blockbusters. If I had to pick between Suriya Putri and Jai Bhim, obviously these 2 movies are 2 different topics, but in my mind I would think Jai Bhim is the winner. The reason I say Jai Bhim is the winner is because Jai Bhim has so many scenes, especially the court scenes, where you have to articulate every single line, like word by word, and you have to do it confidently. And the way Suriya sir did it was the most amazing way, and felt like it was a natural, like he was a natural lawyer, born to be a lawyer. It was so awesome. The amount of lines in the real world, what a lawyer does. A lawyer has to read, understand, and be ready to speak the right things and argue against another person. And to do that in real life is very hard. I'm not going to lie, because I'm in a debate class. I used to do debate, and I know what it feels like. Just to get a minimum touch of what a lawyer does and what a lawyer has to do for a whole life is very difficult. And the way Suriya sir did it in Jai Bhim was one of the most fantastic ways ever. In a lawyer, that's what you need to do, and he's articulated it very well. That's why I say Jai Bhim is the winner. But coming back to Etharkkum Thunnindavan, and Suriya's acting. His acting was phenomenal here. His acting portrayed his real character, in my opinion. In the way he feels about this topic is that every person in the world has to know what women's safety is. And even though it's very sensitive, unfortunately, it is a topic that goes on today and needs to be improved, which I think this movie voices out really well. All the other actors, I feel like, had a very important role to play in this movie. And I feel like the casting was right for the roles, but I feel like in the role except for Suriya, the other roles could have been used a little bit more. That's why I say 3.75 out of 5 rating, is because such a big actor like actor Satyaraj sir, after acting in Bahubali as Kattappa, one of the most vital roles in the Bahubali story, getting a role like this, I think he could have been used more. As someone who can be with Suriya doing this, because he's such a big actor and someone who can actually portray a message to another generation. Surya sir has eyes of every generation, but Satyaraj sir has eyes on past generations, current generations, and maybe future generations. So with that, they could have voiced out even more. Another reason why I say 3.75 out of 5 rating is because storyline was good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying that there are some scenes in the movie where I felt like that was not needed. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I am a big fan of comedy, but in this movie, with the storyline and everything, I felt like comedy could have been a little less. Since you're trying to voice out such a very important such an important issue in the world and in India, that comedy could have been a little less and try bringing out the importance of what uh, women's safety is. So that's one thing. And then romantic scenes were good. Romantic scenes were embedded with comedy, which made it even better, and the movie a lot more engaging because romantic scenes, in my opinion, cannot be just like love and sweetness. Sure, it can be that, but this is not the right movie for that. But I feel like director Pandiraj sir has made it really well with the comedy embedded within the romance, which I felt like was such a good move. Let's move on to the music. D.Imman sir is the music director of this movie with 3 songs: Vada Tambi, Ulla Uragadaya, and Suma Surrene. I really love these songs. I really did. Vada Tambi is my favorite. You know, I don't care about the dancing. I mean, I really just love the songs. To me, just being in the theater and listening to the songs, it felt like just I wanted to dance. But if I dance, then people would start asking like, "Why are you dancing?" But I just really love the song, so I really applaud Iman sir for that. Let's go on to how the movie is played. So basically, this movie is like in a chronological movie where it starts off in the climax, but it comes back to the beginning and then leads up to it. This kind of reminds me how Chennai Express was, where Chennai Express was playing from the climax and no one had a clue of what was going on until it came to the beginning and leading up to it. So that was I like these type of movies where you're clueless in the beginning and then you have to kind of figure out and you kind of have to learn what happens with the story in order for that to be the climax, which I really loved. But that was just phenomenal. Let's go by the casting. So as I said before, actor Suri and Pugar, I think they're actor Pugar as well. They're they're a good combo, but they could have used a little bit more of them, but not in the sense of more comedy, but in a vital role like Suriya. Actress Priyanka Mohan is a new actress that I have seen only in the movie Doctor with actor Sivakarthikeyan. She did a phenomenal job in Doctor. She playing a good role in Doctor, and this one too, playing a vital role. I feel like in this movie with Surya portraying a woman's emotions, portraying how she feels, is the best thing that could ever happen in Etharkkum Thunnindavan, which she did perfectly in this movie. Let's go on to the villain, actor Vinay Rai. Actor Vinay Rai was he was also the first time I seen him as a villain was in Doctor. I felt like the villain was good. I didn't really like the fact how he was just. I mean, for me, he wasn't really doing anything. He was just ordering a lot of people to go and do stuff, and he was just threatening. There was no action with the villain, and only in the last part of the climax is where the hero and the villain meet. I felt like the interaction between for every movie, I feel like an interaction with the villain and the hero should be more, so that it's more engaging and more better, rather than just like phone calls and chats. A face-to-face showdown just in the climax is not enough in a movie like this. A face-to-face throughout the whole movie will deepen the message even more, which is another reason why I feel like this movie gets a 3.75 out of 5 rating. Again, I really love the acting of Suriya sir, but one thing is when I mention that these many actors should have been in the role, because I feel like Suriya sir was indeed just a one-man army in this. And one-man army, it's good and all, but the movie has to be realistic. I mean, in no world, sure you can have if you have a big fan supporting, you can be a one man army. But for this, especially, a one man army wouldn't be sufficient enough to take down such a huge thing, and voice out a problem. So I felt like a one man army wasn't that impressive, but his acting, I cannot say anything about his acting because his acting was phenomenal. And this might just be a bias view because I am a Suriya fan. But looking at others acting like a few examples like actor Talapati Vijay or Tala Ajit. Like I watched the Tala Ajit movie Valimai in the theaters, and I would clearly say that Etharkkum Thunnindavan beats Valimai. I can clearly say that. I'm not talking about this our style of acting. Tala Ajit was okay, but I feel like he could have done a little bit more. But Etharkkum Thunnindavan for Suriya, he did it perfectly. And for me, it's not just a biased view, but being a neutral fan for watching these movies, I feel like Etharkkum Thunnindavan has a bigger advantage. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any questions or anything, you can put it down in the comments. And this is just my review. So it's the final thing before I leave off is that for Etharkkum Thunnindavan, for the reasons, I give it a 3.7 out of 5. But it is a family watch movie. So I urge everyone to watch it with family. I urge it mostly with everyone who has a son or a daughter, or even both, to encourage them to watch it in theaters, or just all come to a living room and watch it together instead of separately. I encourage that because of the message, because of the storyline, the acting, the comedy. It's all embedded. I really recommend this movie. And the last thing before I end is, it wouldn't be a blockbuster? Of course. I feel like this will be a blockbuster. For every person watching this movie in the US, Canada, Brazil, UK, Spain, France, Germany, South Africa, Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Egypt, Morocco, of course India, the UAE, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, even in Japan. Such a huge following, this movie will become a huge blockbuster. I will say that Suriya sir will have 3 blockbusters in a row. Surare Potre, J Bim, and definitely Etharkkum Thunnindavan.